The Chrono Misfits is a YouTube channel where past, present, and future collide in ways history never saw coming.
In this video, we step back into the trenches of World War I. Well, just imagine stepping through the wheel of time only to land smack in the middle of the horrors of World War I. We're talking muddy trenches, relentless artillery fire, and a devastating stench of despair. Welcome to the Western Front, around year 1916, where life expectancy in some areas could be measured in days. Well, this is the time when the Western Front stretched like a scar across Europe, cutting through once beautiful landscapes now churned into hellish, wastelands. And you, as a time traveler, are not and cannot be prepared for the chaos. Your survival, hinges on adaptability, wit, and a bit of luck, of course, or lots of it. Well, let's dive into what you'd face and how you might make it out alive. What to expect in the trenches? Probably a lot of shit, dirt, mud. And there's really a maze of trenches dug into the earth during the World War I. And they were stretching for miles, like a web of human suffering. The air reeks of rot. The earth is wet, and there are unwashed bodies just stinking everywhere. The mud is knee-deep. There are rats the size of cats and lice that will become your constant companions. Well, it's not better overhead. The shells explode constantly, showering you with dirt and, death. The ground constantly rumbling, shaking, a hellish kind of fun land that isn't fun at all. Quite the opposite. I mean, you must feel confused, even though you knew how the trench wars played out. We all read about them, the horror, the disgusting environment. But if you're actually there, standing in the middle of it, smelling it, tasting it, feeling the soldiers' anxiety and pain, the absolute fear of death when you feel its presence, that must be on a whole new level, a whole new personal level that is just off the charts.
Dear Travel Diary, I have only but one question. Am I stupid? I really hope that my assumptions and calculations are correct, that death here equals to instant transfer to my usual and justifiable time. I really feel sorry for every soul here, hardly human anymore. Have to go right again soon, hopefully.
The trenches of the First World War, they were more than just defensive structures. They were like claustrophobic graves carved deep into the war-torn earth. Every step you took was a gamble, where mud cake walls pressed in like cold, unforgiving hands. And the constant threat of sniper fire, artillery shells, and poison gas lingered overhead, simply a suffocating reminder that this place was not meant for the living. You, as the ever more confused, dazed, and shocked time traveler, run in these narrow, labyrinthine corridors, where even silence feels like an, enemy ready to break at the crack of a distant gunshot. You can't run, hide, you just, the show must go on. The soldiers, the leaders and politicians' sons, not really. Ordinary young men, weary, hardened by weeks of unrelenting combat. They speak, if they speak at all, in short, gruff sentences, conserving energy and sanity, if that's possible. Morale is slow, but camaraderie runs deep.
Sure, I am recreating the most important lessons learned from the past, but I don't know do I have to suffer in the trenches to understand the depth of human depravity? I am alien here, they sense that I'm not one of them, but they don't have the energy to care. I've only been here for a few hours, but even the Lord can hear me say that this is too much, even though I'm not religious yet. Have to go right again soon, hopefully.
Well, what about the deadly threats, bullets and shrapnel? Death is often sudden and machine gun fire tears through bodies like paper. Disease and infections. Trench foot, dysentery and typhus are as deadly as enemy fire. A simple cut can mean slow death by gangrene. Poison gas. Chlorine and mustard gas attacks strike without warning, turning the air into a weapon. Well, that is a sad-ass option. Psychological warfare. The entire World War I scene is one big psychological warfare element, according to at least me, myself, and I. Just brutish, evil, and shell shock that breaks even the toughest of minds. You know, the staring eyes, smiling. The survival guide. Well, what to do in order to increase your chances of survival? Well, honestly, I believe that the modern age time traveler would be looking for a way back to his comfortable future at this point. Sure, you want to live the history instead of reading about it or watching a movie that fine-tunes the harsh reality into a soft hero tale with a right amount of passion, action, and a storyline that much likely will lead to a hero's heroic ending scenes. But let's assume that he can't return right away for some reason. In that case, he needs some kind of guidance to at least have some kind of, well, you have to try, right? So the tips are as follows. Well, the first tip being blend in quickly. Time travelers don't have the luxury of preparation. Grab a soldier's uniform, well, preferably not from someone still wearing it, but muddied and bloodied clothing will help you blend in. Speak little, nod often, yes sir, yes, no sir, and fake exhaustion is the universal language here. Number 2. Avoid standing out. The trenches are a dangerous place to attract attention. Avoid being too curious or asking too many questions about modern tactics. Suspicion could make you a scapegoat, or worse, land you on the front line. Number 3. Learn trench etiquette. Never show your head above the parapet unless you want to shut it off. Do not sleep with your boots off. A gas attack or a sudden assault could strike at any moment. And share your rations. It builds trust. Number 4. Ration management. Food is scarce and often revolting. Soldiers survive on stale biscuits, bully beef, and a splash of rum. Well, you better eat sparingly and keep out an eye for rats stealing your supplies. Number 5. Health is everything. Trench foot caused by wet, unsanitary conditions is rampant. Keep your feet dry if possible and use grease or any available oil to protect them. Avoid touching open wounds, gangrene spreads fast. Number 6. Gas masks. Poison gas attacks are frequent. If you lack a proper gas mask, soak a cloth in urine. Yes, urine, and tie it over your face. The ammonia neutralizes chlorine gas. Primitive, but effective. Number 7. Stay low, stay quiet. Artillery barrages are random and deadly. The safest place is the bottom of the trench, where you likely be huddled with terrified soldiers. Number 8. Plan your escape. If you're desperate to return to your own time, scout for opportunities. You have to avoid no man's land unless you enjoy the sound of machine guns. Instead, use the cover of darkness to sneak behind the lines and find a moment to reset your time travel device. Cultural observations. Humor amid chaos. Despite the horror, soldiers find ways to laugh, dark jokes, mocking officers, or playing games with rats. Join in. Humor is as much a survival tool as your gas mask. Well, that is of course true for our own age as well. Humor and self-distance. Is it called self-distance? Songs of the trenches. Be prepared to sing along to bawdy, morbid tunes. It's a coping mechanism for the men around you and might just keep you in their good graces.
The way people talk here, their words, their stories, what matters to them, it's clear we're from different eras, and yet there's something unsettling in how alike we are. I can't quite explain it. Maybe humanity itself exists outside of time, unchanged in ways that matter most. Have to go right again soon, hopefully.
Before you kickstart your time machine and head for home to document all your experiences from World War I, let's say in a YouTube video, get to know some of the men who fought there. Here are some possible stories of the soldiers who lived and sometimes died in those endless trenches. Private James Jimmy Calloway, born Manchester, England, 1894. His hobby was sketching cityscapes and playing folk violin. And the story of Jimmy is that he was a factory worker with an artist's heart. His dream of becoming a painter was put on hold when he was drafted in 1914. In the trenches, he sketched his surroundings on scraps of paper, bombed out villages, the hollow-eyed faces of his comrades, and even the fleeting beauty of a bird perching on a shattered rifle. His drawings became treasured keepsakes for those who survived. He did not. Corporal Émile Fournier, born in Lyon, France, 1892. He liked baking bread at his father's boulangerie. A boulangerie is like a bakery, but more sort of French. Émile was famous for his bread back home, a warm, crusty comfort in a world of hardship. In the trenches, he improvised trench bread, using whatever meager rations he could scrape together. His trench mates said he could make even stale biscuits taste like home. When his supplies ran low, he was often found at the front, volunteering for dangerous supply runs. Private Michael Mick O'Shea, born in Cork, Ireland, 1895, amateur boxing champion. Mick was a street fighter before the war, known for never backing down. Trenches were just another ring for him. He held the respect of his comrades, not just for his fists, but for his loyalty and fierce courage. He earned a field promotion after dragging 3 wounded men back under heavy fire. Sergeant Wilhelm Willy Kappel was born in Hamburg, Germany, 1890. He loved reading adventure novels by Jules Verne. He was a bookish dreamer, never expecting to end up in the trenches. He carried a battered copy of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in his coat pocket, reading a page whenever he got the chance. He promised himself he'd explore the real world after the war, but he never got the chance. His body still rests somewhere in the mud of Flanders. Rifleman Anik Singh, born in Punjab, British India, 1893. He liked to tend the family's small farm. Anik was the eldest son in a farming family, drafted into the British Indian Army. The European cold cut through his uniform like knives, but he never complained. His calm demeanor earned him the respect of his platoon. After saving several lives during a gas attack, he was posthumously awarded the Indian Distinguished Service Medal. Private Joseph Joe Romano, born in Brooklyn, New York, USA, 1896. Joe, a boy at the time, he liked fixing cars and chasing the American dream. He lied about his age.
Do you mind me asking where you got that?
Seeking adventure and a way to escape his dead-end job at a mechanic shop. He always carried a photograph of his sweetheart, Maria, folded tightly in his breast pocket. Despite the hell he endured, He swore he'd return home, marry her, and open a garage. The war ended 2 months too late for him. Corporal Pietro Moretti, born in Milan, Italy, 1891. Passions: playing mandolin and cooking traditional pasta dishes. Pietro's loud, his boisterous personality made him popular in the trenches. Laughter was often the only form of survival. His wild tales and exaggerated war stories kept morale high, even when the mud swallowed their boots and hope seemed distant. He lived for the day he could return to Italy and open a small trattoria, perhaps. In another life, he did. They were from different worlds, but in the trenches, survival was the only thing that truly mattered. The trenches were a place where ordinary men lived extraordinary lives, leaving behind stories that now drift like echoes across time.
Tomorrow I'll return to my own time, but part of me will always march with them, through mud, fear, and whatever comes after. This will be my last entry. Thank you for following me on this journey. Like and subscribe, dear friends, in the future. See you in the next one.